Namaste and Jai Swaminarayan. Welcome to Chalo, Shikhiye, Gujarati. Through this video, we hope to refresh your knowledge of the Gujarati language so that when classes start up again, you'll be ready and refreshed to learn new and exciting things. We will begin with a Jainad to welcome Bhagwan Swaminarayan and our Gurus into this class and to help us prepare our minds to learn Gujarati. Shri Swaminarayan Bhagwan Ni Jai. Akshar Purushottam Maharaj Ni Jai. Gunatitanand Swami Maharaj Ni Jai. Bhagat Ji Maharaj Ni Jai. Shastri Ji Maharaj Ni Jai. Yogi Ji Maharaj Ni Jai. Pramukh Swami Maharaj Ni Jai. Mahant Swami Maharaj Ni Jai. Pramukh Swami Maharaj Shatabdi Mahotsav Ni Jai. So that you gain the maximum benefit from these videos, we must ensure that we follow some basic guidelines. Make sure you participate all the way through the video. You're watching these videos to learn Gujarati, so there's no need to feel embarrassed when following along and taking part. We actively want you to follow along and repeat all the letters, the words and the phrases and everything that you see on screen. Try and memorize as much as you can when watching these videos, rather than taking notes and thinking that we can come back and watch the video again. We'll be learning many songs to help us learn different aspects of the language. All these songs will help us to learn different things, so sing along, sing loudly and proudly that you're learning the Gujarati language. We'll also be doing some activities. Again, take part, play along. The only thing that will happen is that you'll gain a quicker and deeper understanding of the Gujarati language. It's important to focus on the listening and speaking aspects of Gujarati first, so that we understand how the Gujarati language is spoken. I'd like to take a minute just to explain why we need to do all these things, as you can see on screen, to enhance our Gujarati learning. Some very clever scientists have looked into language learning and have studied the best ways to learn a new language. What they have found is that if we just watch a video, we will only remember up to 40% of what has been shown and what you will hear. If you actually do some practical learning, this rises to about 60%. But in order to remember the most and gain the most benefit, you have to watch, focus on what's been said, take part in the games and activities, and do the work and exercises. In that way, you will gain the most benefit from this course. You already know that it's important to know and understand Gujarati, but we'll go through a few reasons so that we have a deeper understanding of why it's important. Firstly, we should learn Gujarati to preserve our culture, our knowledge, and our values. What does that mean? Well, what's our background? Where do our parents and our grandparents come from? What's our culture? All these things are from and are grounded in Indian and specifically Gujarati culture and history. So in order to know and understand our past, we should learn the language that ties us to that vast history. Our gurus and our shastras and our community all use Gujarati, so it's a very sacred language. Even Bhagwan Swaminarayan himself learnt Gujarati so he could teach us about himself and the Akshar Purushottam Upasana. Imagine that! Bhagwan Swaminarayan learnt Gujarati so we could learn about him. A lot of the time, when we go to the mandir or sit in sabha, sometimes a word is spoken or something is said and we don't understand it. And all of a sudden, we don't know what's being said in sabha and we get bored. By learning Gujarati, we can read our shastras and learn the words that will enable us to understand Gatha and sabha better. And by doing this course, we can enhance our education and learn another modern foreign language, which will help us in our studies and in the future will give us better career and job prospects. Remember, everything we do in our mandir is based around Gujarati. Our sabhas are in Gujarati, our shastras are in Gujarati, our gurus speak Gujarati, so we should remember this as we are learning Gujarati. And most importantly, Param Pujya Pramukh Swami Maharaj has said that Bhasha jase to sanskar jase. The literal translation is, lose your language and you lose your values and your culture. What does that mean? Our Gujarati language has values, culture and respect built right into it. So as we learn the language, we learn these things as well. Before we dive into some Gujarati, let's play a game and revise some English. You'll have 30 seconds to say the English alphabet as fast as you can. Make sure you write down how many times you say the whole alphabet. Ready? Steady? Go! Amazing! How many times did you manage to say the alphabet in that time? Brilliant! Something you can try afterwards is to try again and see if you can say one more in the same amount of time. Now, back to Gujarati. The first thing we'll go over is not the letters of the alphabet, but the structure, the way it's put together. And this will help us going forward so that we make fewer mistakes. In the English alphabet, as we know, there are 26 letters, 21 consonants and 5 vowels. The vowels are part of the alphabet. This is an important fact. In Gujarati, we have a few more letters, 34 in total. There are 34 what would be known in English as the consonants. But there's a slight difference which we'll cover later. Gujarati also has 13 vowels. These vowels are separate to the consonants or letters of the alphabet. Later on, we'll go through how to combine these consonants and vowels together. But for now, it's important to remember that in Gujarati, we can make words just from the consonants. We don't need vowels to make words. In the English alphabet, there are capital letters and small letters, or uppercase and lowercase letters. So each letter has 2 different ways that it can be written. Even if some of them look similar, there are technically 2 ways of writing each one. So, in fact, there are 52 letters in the English alphabet. In Gujarati, there are no upper or lowercase letters. There's no capitals or small letters. There's only one way of writing it. We don't have to worry about capitalizing words. Isn't that awesome? What you can see on screen is the only way you need to learn how to read, write, and speak the letters of the alphabet. Let's play another quick game. In this game, one person has to choose a letter of the alphabet, any letter of the Gujarati alphabet, but don't say it out loud. Another person has to guess what that letter is, but they can only ask questions about where the letter is, not what the letter is. So questions like, is it in the first column? Is it in the 5th row? They're okay to ask, but you can't ask, is it the letter Ga? Is it the letter Ba? Are you ready? You have 30 seconds. Make sure you take turns to guess the other person's letter. Brilliant! Did you manage to guess each other's letters? This is a very important slide and we'll take a few moments to explain it as well, to make sure that you understand this point about the difference between the English and Gujarati. In English, letters of the alphabet are pronounced differently when they're in a word. They're pronounced differently depending on where they are in the word and what the word is. For example, the first letter of the alphabet is A. We say A, but as soon as you put it in a word, we change the way we pronounce it. So in the word ask, A-S-K, we put those 3 letters together and it becomes ask. But the A has become an R. That's a little bit strange. In Gujarati, the way the letters are pronounced in the alphabet is the same way they are pronounced in words, sentences, books, and everywhere else. The first letter, Ga, is pronounced Ga in the alphabet, but more importantly, wherever you see it in a word, it will always be pronounced Ga. So in the word you can see on screen, the word Kamar, meaning lotus, the first letter doesn't change from Ga to Ge or Gu like English, but it's still Ga. So the way to read the letter is Ga Ma Ara, Kamar. This is a really important point, and it will help you greatly when reading new words that you're unsure about. You can split the word up into the letters of the alphabet and say them out loud individually. When you put these parts together, you will be able to say or read the word correctly. So, let's take a closer look at these letters then. The first thing we're going to look at are the number of letters in each line of the alphabet. Here, you can see the whole alphabet laid out. We won't cover why it's written this way now. All we need to concentrate on are the numbers on the right-hand side. There's no magic or mystery to these numbers. They are just the numbers that are in each row. The first row has 4 letters, the second row has 4, the third row has 5, and so on. There are many reasons why it's important to know this order, but the main one at this stage is that by knowing how many numbers in each line of the alphabet, we can easily know and correct ourselves when we are saying or writing the alphabet. If, for example, we only write 4 letters in the third line of the alphabet, we can realize without anyone telling us that we've made a mistake. How brilliant is that? Without anyone helping us, we can check our work and correct any mistakes. So looking down the screen on the right-hand side, there are a number of letters in each line. 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, 4. And those are the numbers that we're going to concentrate on. We have a short tune that will help us to remember this order. Remember to listen to the tune for the first time and then follow it along. We'll listen to it the first and then we'll sing along with it afterwards. Got that? Easy, isn't it? Let's sing along together. Careful, the tune does speed up in the middle. Brilliant! I hope that you've memorized the numbers now. When we come to reading and writing the alphabet, it will really come in handy. Another amazing trick we have to help you learn the alphabet is the colours tune. Each line of the alphabet has been given a colour. By memorizing the colours, it will again make it easier for you to learn the alphabet. Let's learn the colours tune together. Each line, as we've said, has a different colour. The first line is red, then the second line is yellow, then pink and green, orange and purple, blue, and the last line is black. The order is very similar to the colours of the rainbow, and so that should help you to learn this order. Remember to listen along to the song first, and then we'll sing along together. Great, now let's try singing that together.
Red and yellow and pink and green,
Well done! Before we move on, let's have a quick recap of what we've learnt so far. Remember that each letter has only one form. There are no capital letters in Gujarati. Letters are always pronounced the same. The numbers tune goes 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, 4. The colours tune goes red and yellow and pink and green, orange and purple, blue, black. Before we get into learning the letters of the alphabet, you may be wondering why the alphabet is written in a very specific way and why we teach it like this. Well, it all goes back to the origins of our language, Sanskrit. The Sanskrit alphabet is written in a very similar way to Gujarati, and as Gujarati has come from Sanskrit, we write Gujarati in the same way. If we take a closer look at the Gujarati alphabet, we can see that the first 5 rows have been labelled with how we pronounce them. The first row of letters have a throaty sound, so the sound comes from our throat. The second row of letters all have sounds that are made when our tongue touches the top of our mouth, known as the soft palate. The letters in the third row have sounds that form when our tongue touches the back of our teeth and gums in the top of our mouth, which is known as the hard palate. The letters in the fourth row have sounds that form when our tongue touches both sets of teeth at the back. And the fifth row have sounds that have to use our lips in order to be able to make those sounds. The sixth, seventh and eighth rows are slightly a different order, and we'll cover those and how to pronounce them when we go through the letters of the alphabet. So what you can see on this slide is where all the letters are pronounced. So the first line, G, K, G, G, is pronounced at the back of your throat. For the second line, J, Ch, J, J, your tongue just touches the top of your mouth when you say it. The third line, Da, Ta, Da, Da, Ana, your tongue is touching just where your gums and teeth meet at the top of your mouth. In the fourth line, Da, Ta, Da, Da, Na, your tongue starts off touching the back of both sets of your teeth. And in the fifth line, Ba, Fa, Ba, Ba, Ma, you have to move your lips to make the right sounds. We do need to know one last fact before we start learning how to pronounce each letter individually. Each column of the letters is also pronounced in a different way. The letters in the first and the third columns have a soft sound, and the letters in the second and fourth columns have a hard or a harder sound. The letters in the fifth column have a very nasally sound. So, with all that in mind, let's go through each row and learn how to pronounce the letters. Remember that practice makes perfect, so keep practicing with me. On screen, you can see the first 2 lines of the alphabet. I'll say each letter and you can repeat it after me. G, G, K, K, G, 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 J, J, Ch, Ch, J, 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 J. The next line is Da, Da, Ta, Ta, Da, 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 Ana, Ana. The fourth line is Da, Da, Ta, Ta, Da, 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 Na, Na. Make sure to remember to repeat the letter after me. The fifth line is the one where you have to use your lips. Ba, ba, fa, fa, ba, ba, bha, bha, ma, ma. We'll do line 6 and 7 together. Ya, ya, ra, ra, la, la, va, va, sha, 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 sa, sa. And the last line, ha, ha, ara, ara, ksha, ksha, gna, gna. So, let's listen to another song with all the letters of the alphabet on screen. Listen along for the first time and then we'll have a chance to sing it together. Okay, so let's all sing along together this time. Each line will come up on screen. If you get stuck, just join in again at the start of the next line. Oh wow, you guys did amazingly! But as we know, practice makes perfect, so let's try singing along again. Ready? Brilliant! Now let's try singing it together with all the letters on screen. And for your challenge, it's to try and sing along again, but without some of the letters on screen. Let's go! Congratulations! What an amazing job you've done! In such a short amount of time, you've learnt so much about the Gujarati alphabet and picked up how to say, read and speak all of the letters. Before we end, let's do a quick recap of what we've learnt today. Remember that each letter only has one form. There are no capital letters in Gujarati. Letters are always pronounced in the same way. The numbers tune goes 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, 4. The colours tune goes red and yellow and pink and green, orange and purple, blue, black. And there's the amazing alphabet tune to help us learn all the letters of the alphabet. Remember, the more we can practice, the better we'll become at recognizing and saying each of the letters. And remember the golden rule, the way you pronounce the letter doesn't change when you have them in a word. So the way you've learnt to pronounce the letters today is the way you pronounce them in any word, sentence, phrase, or anywhere else where you see that letter. Thank you very much for listening and taking part in learning some Gujarati. Namaste, Pranam, and Jai Swaminarayan.